1, 2, 3, 4. Next shape. Next shape. Next shape. Okay. Next shape way up here. And back to the beginning. Okay, now we're going to stay in this position and go through the shapes. Now we're going to go to G. Back to C. Back up a fifth to G. Here we go, up to D, up a fifth. Now up a fifth to A. And we're staying in one position, right? Back down to D. Back up to A. Here comes E. Up to B7. Back up to E. And back down to B7. Here comes the F sharp. Stay in this position. C sharp. Down to F sharp. Up to C sharp. Back to C, here we go. Okay. So, we did the exact same routine with a different type of chord, a dominant chord. And you can take that a step further and do all of these with minor seventh chords. And you'll be practicing efficiently all three shapes or all three chord qualities in 5 positions. That's a really effective way to do this. Okay? So take this exercise and apply to a routine every day in a variety of different tempos and a variety of different grooves. There's so many other ways you can make it interesting too. Just off the top of my head, I thought to myself, well, you could go up the neck like we were doing before in major seventh, but the next chord that you go up, you could make it, instead of another major seventh, you could make it a dominant seventh, right? And then the next inversion above that, instead of making it another dominant seven, you can make it a minor seventh, all right? And then as you go up 2 more shapes, you could go back to major seventh, and then back to dominant seventh. So you could change the quality of the chord as you go up to the different positions of the chords to practice changing and seeing different chord qualities as you still look at the same roots, because the roots are all the same. It's just the quality of the chord you're changing now. Okay? And you could do the same thing as you stay in one position. You could say C major seventh, but if I go up a fifth to G, I'm going to make that G dominant. And if I go up another fifth to D, maybe I'll make that minor seventh. Okay? So all kinds of different ways you can practice this to make it challenging and have fun. Okay. So let's finish it up with a nice progression from something that you might recognize from a few years ago in the radio. I'll talk to you in just a second. Let me hang it on the board. All right, we're back with our final little practice progression and tie it all together to make it musical and make it fun. You can see behind me, I've got another progression for us. This progression mostly deals in major sevenths and minor seventh chords. There's not even a dominant chord in here. But for all our purposes today, it's still useful to tie all of the things that we've talked about together. You could even change some of these to dominants if you want, just for different kinds of practice. But this is actually sort of similar to a tune that you might have heard a long time ago, or maybe not so long ago if you're an older guy like me, from a band called Tears for Fears. I've modified it a bit to sort of fit a couple other chords, but it's based sort of off a tune called Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Okay, so the good thing about knowing all these varieties of chord voicings is that you can connect the shapes of the chords with more musicality, okay? Meaning you can be more selective about how you want the notes and the chords to fit together, right? So that's really important when you're coming up with the rhythm guitar part. So what we want to do with this one is I want you to practice connecting with your different types of major 7 shapes in a variety of different combinations to find the combination that you like the best to make this progression come to life. So for example, you could play A major 7th right here. And you could go to D major 7th right here, okay? And then you'd have essentially the melody going here, going up to here for the 2 chords. Then you could go down to F major 7 right here, or you could go up, right? It's up to your own individual taste, how you like to hear the chord voicings move, okay? But you've got 5 different shapes in major 7, so you've got a lot of variety. You can go A major here, start it way down here, and go to D major up here. And then F major, you can go up here. It's up to you. Now, you'll notice on the B section, we do something that's very typical in a lot of songs. We have an ascending diatonic chord movement. In other words, these chords right here all belong to the key of A. And what's going on here, it's the 2 chord of the chord scale to the 3 chord, C sharp, to the 4 chord of the key, back down to the 3, and then finally 2, 3, 4, back up the scale. So a really effective way to link together chords when you hear them connected literally a step away from each other on the diatonic scale, and following literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, is to use the same voicing. In other words, on the minor 7th shapes here, I'm going to use this shape that we've learned before and play the exact same shape to the C sharp because it's so perfect for the connection of the notes. And then when I go to the 4 chord, the D chord, I'll use the same voicing on the D chord. So you really, the D chord of course is major 7th, but it really makes the voicing sound more connected that way. Okay, so I could have done it, let's say B minor 7 like this, to D major 7 like that, right? That's another way to connect it, but once again, I'm just using the same voicing here. It makes it more musical. Rather than going, let's say, B minor 7 here, C sharp minor 7, right up here, D major 7, down here. I'm jumping all over the place. This is more connected. So why don't you try to focus on that, okay? So here we go. Have a little fun with it, and I'm going to set you up with a little intro that we've heard on the recording too. Here we go. Oh, it's over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. G major 7. All right, change your position now. Here we go. Back to A. Keep that right hand loose. Okay, G major 7. right, so this has been fun in this lesson. I want you to keep practicing all these chords. Take those suggestions that I gave you and apply them to your practice. Okay? This is how you get better. You got to make up challenging exercises, drill on the exercises, and then apply them to tunes that you like. Okay? So I'll see you on the next lesson. Have a good one. And I'm just going to jam a little bit here. I'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.